We await the restart of the Austrian Grand Prix, where the Ferraris are the subject of much crowd adoration, and John Bisignano took this closer look at the Ferrari factory.
Even more than racing cars, road cars have stirred the hearts and souls of both men and women for the past 100 years. And no single word in the industry has created more of a stir than the name Ferrari. Just the mention of it, Ferrari, can quicken the pulse and raise the expectations of car lovers worldwide. And the product, the Ferrari automobile, has been meeting those expectations and surpassing them all over the world for the past 40 years. Commendatore Enzo Ferrari, with his blood-red automobile stamped with the black prancing stallion, has not only built a global business, but has personified in sight, sound, and touch what most experts consider to be the ultimate in sports car design, styling, and performance. The line you're looking at behind me is where a Ferrari begins its life here at the assembly factory. The bodies are actually brought up from Modena, about 12 miles to the north of here, and brought into this first assembly area. All the electrics are put into the chassis, and the interiors. It's amazing. Standing amongst all this fiberglass and metal, it has the smell of a Gucci boutique. As you can see, all the trim is fine calf leather, windshields, trunk interiors, body panels such as bumpers and so forth are all put on in this first assembly line. And as you can see, there's about 12 cars here, and all but one is the blood red color of Ferrari. Almost 90% of the cars that go out of this factory are in the traditional Ferrari red. After about a day and a half in the interior assembly line, where everything is finished off, sort of the softness of the Ferrari, it comes here to the mechanical assembly line where the Ferrari gains its real guts. This is the 328 GTS model, the most popular model to be sold in the United States. And right here, the suspension and brake assembly is very much like that of the Formula One cars. Single disc, ventilated brake with the single caliper, wishbone suspension, and the spring and the shock absorber assembly is very close to that of some past Formula One machinery. Up front, the rack and pinion steering. This type of steering gives the driver the best feel of the road. In a Ferrari, you want the exact conditions in the road being brought up through the steering and into the driver's hand. Again, the ventilated disc helps for extra cooling under extreme braking conditions. This is the start-finish line of the engine assembly system here in the Ferrari factory. A bare block and an actual finished engine ready to go into a brand new chassis. The thing you have to appreciate about the Ferrari manufacturing of their engines, this is where they take their pride. It's the heartbeat of every Ferrari, is the motor. There are no outside suppliers when it comes to both engine and gearbox components. As you can see, the pistons are very nicely polished and machined. This very light piston can rev up to 8,000 RPM with no trouble whatsoever. They go into the motor. This is a 3.2-liter, again ready to be assembled for the American market. It takes approximately 6 hours to assemble one of these V8 Ferrari motors, and you can see craftsmen from 3 generations all pulling together to make the very best possible motor. Here we have the completed product, the 3.2 Ferrari engine. To me, this is the most important part of the entire assembly process. As you can see, the engine is lifted from below very carefully, gingerly, high up over the chassis, and brought directly over the engine bay. Expertly lowered with a great deal of caution right on to the engine bolts. This is the magical moment where the Ferrari chassis, the body, is joined with the engine. What was a bunch of scattered parts all around this factory have now come together to make a completed Ferrari. A completed 328 GTS. A finished Ferrari. They say a man's automobile is a reflection of his own image. This is my favorite part of the Ferrari factory. It's somewhat casually called the finishing shop. Now, around me are 40 completed Ferraris ready for shipment all over the world. Some $3 million worth of equipment. We have been in the Ferrari factory for some 4 hours, and myself and the crew, not one moment during that time has our heartbeat been normal or the tingling in our toes and fingers ever gone away. It's a special finishing shop. It's a special factory full of special craftsmen. Conduttore Enzo Ferrari, thank you for making dreams a reality.
And there you see the latest standard bearer of the famous prancing horse logo, 27-year-old Austrian Gerhard Berger, who has yet to score points in his native race, a home away from home event for Ferrari.